One other thing Anchorage, Alaska does have a problem with is having the main road of Lake Otis Parkway just turn into Merrill Field Way or Road or Drive, kind of going through parts of Merrill Field. They actually had to close that way to the public as of 9/11 in 2001 because, see, vehicles not licensed to be on the airport is not safe to the plane, and it does kind of get in the way of such situations. And so we have to make sure that the road has a way of connecting. Doesn't look too good because sometimes we end up going over to Airport Heights Drive, and that sometimes does get a little out of the way because sometimes by mistake we end up proceeding straight onto Mountain View Drive, and that's not too good. Glen Highway, well, Fifth Avenue part of it has been widened so that there'd actually be a way of getting the traffic through. It wouldn't be so narrow. So they no longer have their frontage road. In fact, one of the roads that kind of follows along in this area kind of heads into the airport or business park. And of course, the plane learning school that some that our, of our high school students go to learn about planes. It's a very important job when you go to do a community helper's job. Alaska doesn't have a lot of roads in it. Many of our cities, though they have roads in them, don't have roads to them, so we do have to use an airplane to get to where we're going. And so that's why we have the school. It was just getting a little too much to have a frontage road there to get in, and so they had to change it, and that was the way it had to go. Reeve Boulevard almost connects with Lake Otis Parkway, but because of the different longitudes there, it does kind of have to bend a little bit, and that shouldn't be a problem. In the tunnel under would be great, because then we could just go straight under, and we could make a better connection with Glen Highway, and that's where it's supposed to go. This is the picture of Lake Otis Parkway on 15th Avenue, or 15th Avenue and Lake Otis Parkway. As you probably notice, it's a double street change intersection because Lake Otis Parkway becomes Merrill Field Drive on the north side of 15th, and it's Lake Otis on the south side. On the east side of Lake Otis Parkway, it's DeBar Avenue. On the west side, it's 15th Avenue. And so, therefore, that's what makes it a double street change intersection. What you see here in white is actually where the tunnel is supposed to start. They probably won't be needing the curve in the road anymore, but this little opening here is where Merrill Field Drive begins, and that's where the gate will be to registered vehicles only, and the guard booth too, so that only vehicles registered in the area can go there. Here is Reeve Boulevard and Glen Highway. It makes more sense for the road to go under right here. There won't be much need for having to give up a few airplane parking lots, maybe just one or two to get this in. And basically with this, the traffic along 5th Avenue near Merrill Field, actually going between Merrill Field Airport and the car dealerships along the way, there won't be much requirement for stopping unless you get off of the freeway and go onto one of those. Lake Otis Parkway on the north side of 15th Avenue, street change intersection will eventually say going eastbound, Reeve Boulevard to the left, Lake Otis Parkway to the right, and going westbound it would be Lake Otis Parkway to the left and Reeve Boulevard to the right. So it will always be a double street change intersection. Here at Glen Highway and Reeve Boulevard, it'll practically go under with a split ramp interchange too, and this will help make it easier so that you can get on and off really easily. This is where Reeve Boulevard goes up and over Post Road, and it connects with Bluff Drive. And right when you get to the intersection of Bluff Drive and Reeve Boulevard, you would see where the terraces go, and to the right or straight, you would see the guard booths to Elmendorf Air Force Base. And that basically means the public road continues along Bluff Drive going westbound into Government Hill. And the intersection right here is set up the way it is because of the train yard. So basically you get on and off. You can switch to Bluff Drive a lot easier this way too. You don't have to go too far out of the way to do that at all. And last but not least, this one is Airport Heights Drive in Glen Highway. Glen Highway and Bragoss Street was recently changed to an interchange, and it was mostly for the safety of the pedestrians as well as the traffic, so that the Glen Highway can just keep going and they could go over it a lot easier, and it would be a lot easier to walk through. The old bridge for pedestrians was still in good order, so it was moved down to the South Anchorage near Rabbit Creek Road, where it would eventually be able to go across to meet with the schools there. This one here, if it's a split ramp interchange, you can get to Northway Mall a lot easier, and then with the road of Mountain View Drive, you only have to stop once. You don't have to make two stops anymore the way you used to. Make it a lot easier, because then you just basically start going on the freeway at Carlock Street, and that just kind of keeps you going on your way out of town. And coming into town, you don't have to stop till you get to Carlock Street, and that would be really amazing, because then you're practically giving yourself time to get ready to get into town. That would be wonderful. Have enough freeway in Alaska. We probably could have enough freeway way in Alaska, but it's just been a slow process because we usually have fewer construction workers here than we do with others. But that's all about to change with a little neurophysiology, giving people artificial abilities to live on and succeed in school. While we're in that process, we're making sure that it starts getting better again, the recovery process. We're actually accepting donations of silver yogurt container lids and golden tabs and shot needle caps of both white and orange for money of at least $1,000 for each one, and then eventually we'll have what we need to be able to finish the projects and all. We just don't want you to say you don't know anything about it, because that's greed, and that costs our good people their freedom to have to put up with it, and that's not nice.